Hi, I'm Richard Randall, and welcome back to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker. She is your real estate voice, the host of the show as well. And this is the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate. It does it with Barb Schlinker, the owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Not just the name, it's the guarantee as well. Barb, some of our listeners may not know that they can file for a reduction in their property taxes, both with the recent increase in property taxes. But how does that work, and when and how do they need to file?
Well, Richard, we just finished helping hundreds of people appeal their property tax value. And so property taxes by law get reassessed every 2 years on its value on about the first of the year. And the taxes are supposed to be on the market value 2 years behind the current market, 18 months to 2 years, depending on what county you're in. But the counties took different twists on it. Some said, oh, no, we want the value on June 30 of 2022, but actually it's a range. And the problem is the public didn't have access to those similar sales. So we offered that service. We got a lot of great response. And the deadline has passed to file your appeal. However, if you did file an appeal and you got denied, it's not too late. You can actually have a hearing. I talked to this one lady. It's really neat. She was a dental hygienist, and she actually had already filed her appeal and got denied. And so she called me. And she had a hearing set up because she wasn't going to give up. And I didn't even know they could do a hearing. And so we looked into her property, and I said, it was in a neighborhood where there were a bunch of all the same floor plans. There might have been 3 or 4 floor plans. It was a very high density cookie cutter type neighborhood. And I finally said to her, I said, I don't see other homes that are the same square footage as your home. What is your square footage? And she goes, oh, I think it's about 1900. So then I did a little more research, and I looked at the listing history of that home. I discovered the actual original square footage when it was built was 1800. But then all of a sudden the assessor had it at 2400. And that's when she bought it in 2019, what the size was. And I'm like, wait a minute, something's weird. It shouldn't be that different. So then I went and looked at the permit history, and sure enough, it was 1800 square feet. But for some reason, the county made a mistake and put the wrong square footage in the assessor record. And that was their new gold standard.
Oh my
even
God.
though the home wasn't that size.
Wow.
And so I sent her all that proof, and she has her hearing for, I think, early July. And I said, boy, I'd love to be a fly on the wall for that hearing. It'd be fun to watch. So, and then I talked to another gentleman who said, yeah, we filed all of our appeals. We just hit $1. And the reason is reason. And I'm like, why are you doing that? He goes, because there's so many houses, the counties are kind of just rubber stamping some of these appeals. And they're just going, whatever, they might spend 30 seconds on each home and moving on. But if you go to the hearing, that's when you actually supply your empirical data. So if you did file an appeal and you want some help from us, please give us a call at 719-301-3900. We can take a look at your size, make sure that's right. In case you get denied, it's not too late. And Richard, the other thing that's coming up, another deadline about property taxes, is the senior property tax exemption. So the deadline to file for this, and I believe this is statewide, is July 15th. So that's actually coming up in about 4 weeks. And the way you qualify for the senior property tax exemption is you have to have lived in the home for 10 consecutive years on January 1st, prior to the year that you're applying. And it has to be your primary residence. And one of the owners has to be over 65, not both of them. Some people think it's both, but it's not both. You can also qualify if you're the surviving spouse of somebody that was qualified. And I actually had a client a few months ago that was in that category. They own her a belated husband, qualified, he filed for the exemption. And when he passed away, she still got the exemption. So a lot of people don't know that. And you also qualify, even if your home is in a trust and you meet all the rest of the criteria, you can do that as well. You can also qualify if the qualifying spouse happens to be in a senior living care facility and the other spouse is at home. You can also qualify for that as well. So you want to look into that. And the way you can figure that out is you can just go to gettaxdown.com or give us a call at 719-301-3900. And then the other aspect of this is that you can also qualify if you're a 100% rated 100% disabled veteran, regardless of age. You get the same benefit from the state for this. But the kicker is every single county is different. And of course, every single county has a different form to file. What you get from this is a 50% discount on the property taxes for the first 200,000 of the property's actual value. So as an example, if the home, which most homes are worth more than that, but if the home is worth 200,000, you'd be taxed on 100,000. Or if the home's worth 500,000, you'd be taxed on as if its value was 400,000. And you know what we've seen in the past couple of years is a big surge in property values. If you look around just in the Pikes Peak region, we've seen a big increase in prices, especially in the last 2 years or so. Also in the Denver metro region, we've also seen a big increase in home values. Now the home values peaked out a year ago and actually went backward a little bit in both areas. So if you wanted some help in finding some similar sales at the low end of the value for that period, and you're denied your appeal, give us a call and we'll be happy to help you. My name is Barb Schlinker. I'm with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty Colorado. And we're talking about the sudden large increase in property taxes. And next up, we're going to be talking about how to challenge your property tax values and the rules again. If you'd like to make a move anytime in the next 3 to 6 months, one of the main services we offer is a free in-home consultation on what to do and what not to do to get your house ready for sale. We have over 27,000 buyers in our database of buyers in waiting. We could find at least 100 buyers that are a high match for your home. So if you would like that in-home consultation, go to barbhasthebuyers.com and click on Find My Buyer. Richard?
Barb, we're discussing the huge surge in property taxes and what a homeowner can do to appeal their value if they got denied, and how to apply for that senior or disabled veteran property tax exemption. What more can you tell us about the property tax reductions?
Well, if you did file an appeal for your property taxes and you got denied, do not give up. You can file for a hearing. And basically, at the hearing, that is when you bring the evidence and the goods. So you need similar sales from January 1, 2021 to June 30, 2022. If you don't have those, go to gettaxdown.com or give us a call at 719-301-3900. We'd be happy to help you do this. And what we're going to do is research similar sales. So how do you define similar sales? First of all, what an appraiser does, and I went to appraiser school in past. I just didn't want to be an appraiser. It wasn't my thing. But what they do is they have to compare apples to apples. So it has to be a ranch style home with a basement against a ranch style home with a basement, etc., or 2-story versus 2-story, or townhome versus townhome, or manufactured home versus manufactured home. You have to have similar sales for it to be legit. And then you supply that. And then I don't know exactly how to do the appeal process yet. I haven't gotten that far yet, but I will tell you that it's definitely worth a try. Actually had one of the customers that we helped with just providing comps. They got back to us and let us know that they actually got their estimated property value reduced by over $200,000. So what that translates to is it could be a 30% reduction of your property taxes. So it's worth a try because, with inflation going on right now, it's just one of those things where you really don't need any more expenses. And so you're trying to find ways to keep the tax man from getting most of your money. I've been doing this for, I don't know, 27 years, something like that. And so it doesn't take me or my team that long to find similar sales for you to help you. As far as the senior exemption, though, there is a deadline. So the deadline to file for that exemption is July 15 of this year. And every single county has a different form. So if you want some help with that, you can go to gettaxdown.com or go to barbhasthebuyers.com, whatever. Just make a note and let us know that you want some help with that. And we will research whatever county you're in and we'll send you the form. Now, this form cannot be filed online. You actually have to fill it out. It has some secure information like Social Security numbers. And you do, if you're going to mail it, you do want to send it certified mail, or you need to take it down to the county office on or before July 15. Now, you can file late, but the problem is if you file late between July 15 and August 15, if your appeal gets denied, you can't appeal that. So it's worth a try to do it right and to do it on time. And it's a free service. It's only offered for my radio listeners, and we'd love to help you with it. And if you are thinking of making a move, give us a call at 719-301-3900, or to find out about all of our buyers in waiting, go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice, and you just heard her. That's Barb Schlinker. She is your real estate voice. She's with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. That is her name and her promise. And if you're thinking of making a move, call Barb at 719-301-3900 or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. We'll take a short break. Coming right up, how to avoid the top agent hiring mistakes. You want to make sure you hear that. Stay tuned.